What's everybody? It's time for another Talking with Topher. This is episode 283. It is September 4th, 2025. And hey, we are all still alive. All right, yay! But before I get into anything, let me start off the way I always do by saying thank you. Thank you to all of my subscribers out there. You are the reason I keep coming back week after week. If you're new, remember to subscribe. It's that easy. Just click the button. It's free for you. This is not free to do. So please be subscribing. You want your opportunity to tell your story or be on the podcast? TALKIN with Topher at gmail.com. Send an audio, video, or type it out. And don't forget about the Linktree link. It's in the description below the video, along with all the links discussed in this podcast today. And don't forget about the mailbox guys and Cryptid and Kin. Both of those links are also in the description below the video. And now, with all the housekeeping out of the way, let's get into today's podcast. What's happening, everybody? My mic is nice and loose. My life is getting crazy. Man, what a week. What a week, everybody. I have to say, I know this comes out 3 weeks after the fact, or 2 weeks after the fact, but man, I lifted in the course of 5 days over 4,000 pounds. It is a wild time. I have never, it's literally every day is a workout, guys. Every day is a workout. Every day I work out. I'm doing squats, I'm lifting, I'm carrying. I love it. I literally could not find a time to work out in my life, and now I have to work out every single day to put in mailboxes. And I will have to say, it is helping my jiu-jitsu a lot, actually. There's some people that I have completely shocked and made sure they couldn't push me over. So there's still a couple of you I'm working on. But for the majority of the things that I've been working on in my jiu-jitsu, this job has pushed me to another level. It's pushed me to another level, everybody. And it's amazing. I love it. It's like I've got to add in the piece that I was missing for everything that I've been working on in my entire life. My health, my body, my mind, my gut, everything that I've been doing. The one key piece I was always missing was the workout, everybody. I couldn't fit it in. I didn't have enough time, but I do a lot of stuff. I'm very busy. But now my job is working out. So this is really, really working out for me. And we do have some great conversations when we're driving around and having some, getting to our next job, stuck on the road. And I'm going to call this right now truck talk, because we have talked about a few things while we were on the road, and I want to bring them up in the podcast immediately so that I can kind of keep this segment going. I think it will be a first drop segment. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try it out. And it ties into everything that I've been doing with this podcast. All right. So the first one was the simple fact that we were discussing how we are literally standing still right now. Look around you. Where are you right now? Are you in a car? Are you on the subway? Are you in a building? Are you in your room? Are you in the basement jacking off? I don't know. What are you doing? But you're not rotating, right? You're not moving. You're not feeling of motion. Okay, so put that into perspective, right? We are literally just sitting here doing nothing. But our world and all of my speeds are going to be off. But you can get the gist of where I'm going with it, because I didn't look up the actual speeds before I started spouting this. But we're rotating, 6,000 miles a minute, right? Or whatever it is, right? We're rotating at 6,000 miles a day. I don't know, whatever it is, right? Then that's just our planet rotating. Now you take the sun and the moon, and they're rotating, right? And they're rotating at a speed that's faster than what we're rotating at, right? And so we're rotating this way. They're rotating this way. And then they're rotating around us, right? And then you have the solar system, which is all rotating, okay? And then you have the galaxies, or is it the galaxies are rotating and then the solar system is also rotating and everything is rotating within its own rotations at these astronomical speeds, right? I mean, speeds we can't even fathom right now. Just me and you sitting here in a chair, on a desk, in a car, in an elevator, wherever you are right now. Can you actually imagine everything rotating at the speeds that they say that everything is rotating at, but yet we are not moving? So please open this discussion a little bit more with friends, family, anybody around you, anybody who will listen. Why do we not feel anything? And okay, gravity, fine. But gravity's unmeasurable, right? Gravity is this mystical thing. It's a mystical thing. Let's be real. So if gravity is a mystical thing and it's not measurable, because if it was a magnetic pull, it would be measurable, right? It would be measurable. So why don't we feel anything? Why does it always seem like I'm just standing still? But yet supposedly we are rotating. Things are rotating around us. We are rotating within a rotation, and everything around us is rotating, but yet we never see the dark side of the moon. We never feel anything, and we never notice any type of motion that our planet is taking at any given time. I thought this was wild because why don't we feel something? Now, I think gravity is a magnetic pull. If it was a magnetic pull, maybe it would make a little bit more sense of why we don't feel anything when we're rotating. But if it's just a mystical thing holding us in place that's unmeasurable, well, now you've added another factor into this equation that really doesn't explain why everything is doing what it's doing, right? And it just blew my mind because we don't have any answers for this. Why do I feel as if I'm standing still if everything is moving faster than I could ever imagine? And supposedly, the distance and how far away everything is, so they need to rotate even faster to make it look like we're all in line. This is going to tie into a few of the things I'm going to get into today on the pod, but I'm telling you right now, this is as fictitious as everything else they've tried to tell us that it is. And then this is what led me to the second part, right? So we were talking about planets, and then we pull up, right? And we drove into a Wendy's parking lot. Now, I did not partake in the Wendy's, but it doesn't have to do about the food or how terrible it is for you. It has to do with the fact that AI took his entire order. It was not a person at the counter with the headset on. And I was like, is this AI? And he's like, yeah. And he's ordering. And he ordered, his food. And he ordered specifically 6 sauces. Now, mind you, if you don't ask for sauce, you normally don't get it. If you do ask for sauce and you ask for a number of sauces, how many times have you never gotten that number of sauces? Almost all the time, right? How many times from an order did you get an order messed up? It was a lot. Right? Human error is a giant factor in most of our mistakes that we make today. It's all human error, dude. We are error-driven people. We make an error and we try to correct that error, right? Sometimes we don't learn from our errors. So the AI takes this order. He pulls up to a window. He pays. He pulls up to another window. And literally within 2 minutes, He had all of his food handed to him, and everything was correct. There was nothing missed. It was absolutely mind-boggling because, think of it this way. There was 2 people at 2 windows. You have AI taking all the orders. I don't know what type of robots they have inside that kitchen, but this is a test. Think about it. If it wasn't a test, they wouldn't be doing it, right? So they're implementing it, they're testing it, and it got his order 100% right. Now, how many people have used this and gotten their order 100% right? Is it 100% of the people? Because I'll tell you right now, with human error, it was not 100% of the people. So that means AI is doing a much better job than humans. So how long before they only need one person in that building to feed the robots all the food, to take bags? Actually, they probably won't even need to take the bags and pass them out the window. Bet you the only thing they really need a human for is to take the money. And at the end of the day, they could put a machine in front of that window. You could tap the machine and pay, right? So I don't even know if you're going to be needed at a fast food restaurant within the next 10 years. It's crazy, right? 100% of his order was correct, down to the 6 sauces. Wild. And then my next one that we ended up discussing was autism. Now, I brought up autism a couple weeks ago. It seems to be an uptick in the actual talk about autism because a lot of people, even people with autistic kids, are looking into the reasons why there's so much autism today. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because we were discussing the amount of vaccinations that I had to take back in 1979 when I was born. Yes, I'm an ancient old fart. Gotcha. I get reminded of that all the time. I am turning 46, so I get it a lot. I am ancient. I am old. It's okay. Maybe you can learn from my mistakes. So, back when I was getting vaccinated, there was 8 to 9 vaccinations for a child when they were born. Nothing happened until after 6 months of your age, I think. And then you got shots from 6 months to you were a year. That was it. Then we decided to look up how many people today have autism. What is the amount of people that are getting autism at birth today? The number is 1 in 36. Okay. Now that's very, very concerning to me. That's not a good number. Okay. So I decided to take a look at how many people had autism back in 1979. And will you guess what they told me? I don't think you can, because I was shocked at the answer. The answer was there was no keeping track of autism back in 1979. They didn't start tracking autism until 1990. They did not have any accurate information on autism until 1995. So from 1979, just from my birth year, all the way up to 95, 1 in 500 people were getting autism. Just let that sit. Let that sit. Am I blaming vaccinations 100%? No, I'm not. Am I blaming the medical industry 100%? No. Pharmaceutical? No. Food? No. I'm literally not saying that it's one individual or one company's fault. This is a collective. This is everything we ingest, everything we put into our bodies, everything that they tell us about. I mean, if we constantly listen to big media, you would think buying a disgusting thing and wrapping it in a gluten-free wrap is healthy. You would also think that going over to the gluten-free area is healthy. You would think that anything that big media is telling you is healthy for you. I want to let you know right now, they're lying to you. They're lying to you over and over and over again. Everything that they tell you is false. They're not trying to make you healthy. They found a way to make you think you're eating healthier, but they're not telling you what you really need to change. And it's everything. So with the amount of microplastics, toxins, leads, I mean, just look at the recalls every single day on food, toys, clothing, anything. So everything that we put into our skin or on our skin, in our mouth, in our bodies, literally causes these things to happen. It's not one, it's a collective. It's every single company out there. I don't know how many times I've heard we are overpopulated. And it really made me think about how are they going to be capable? That's right, the big they. How are they going to be capable of ever controlling all of us into these 15-minute cities, not being able to fly anymore because now the elites are going to be the only ones allowed to fly? That's right, they're trying to diminish us. They're trying to make it so that we don't go anywhere. All of this is by design. They're going to diminish our travel. They're going to diminish our capability of moving around. And they're going to diminish the capability of leaving the 15-minute cities because you're not going to need to. You're going to have nothing and you will be happy. And I'm like, how are they ever going to convince all these people, all of us, to go along with this? And then we looked this up. And if it was 1 in 595, and it's now 1 in 36 in 2025, we're talking 35 years, everybody. That is not a long time to go from 1 in 500 to 1 in 36. Is that not their audience? I'm not being mean. I'm not being mean. But think about it. I think that they truthfully think that by doing this, they'll make a population that they can have full control over. Which is why I think it was done by design. So again, it's a little bit of a rabbit hole. It's a little, I get you, but this is truck talk, everybody. This is truck talk. This is what we discuss. This is just some of the things we discuss, I should say. But so think about it. These are little nuggets. Dig into them. Think about them. Hey, New Hampshire, have you heard of the mailbox guys? We're right here at our brand new location at 17 Old Nashua Road in Amherst, New Hampshire. And we are revolutionizing the way that you think about mailboxes. Premium granite post mailboxes, stunning granite stone light fixtures, wood, metal, and vinyl mailboxes. You name it, we've got it. And hey, we don't just stop at mailboxes. We do fencing too. Wood fencing, chain link, vinyl, metal. If it goes into the ground, we make it happen. Here's what sets us apart. We don't just install, we repair. We re-drill granite. We replace brackets. And we bring your old mailboxes back to life. Nobody else does it like we do. So if you want your home to stand out, if you want quality that lasts, and service that blows the competition away, come and see the Mailbox Guys. We're at 17 Old Nashua Road, Amherst, New Hampshire, 03031. Or you can give us a phone call, 617-701-7589. And you can always find us on Facebook. All right, link is in the description below the video. Hire the Mailbox Guys today. Look, everybody, I just want you to know that over 145 five-star reviews with over 3,000 followers can't be wrong. So, hire us today and change your curb appeal forever. Let's go on from there and start getting into the big things that I got going on today. I've said this so many times, and I know that it's not 1,000% true, but I do believe there is more to everything than what I'm being told. If you're telling me what it is, I'm going against you. And I've always said, religion is a way to control people. It is a disgusting, disgusting thing, and I hate it. I don't like the churches. I don't like any of it. You're all demons. You're all evil, and you all have something else in mind. But religion being used as a control is a narrative that I have thought about for a very long time, and I have definitely said my part on what religion actually probably is, right? Listen to this, man.
It was the Paris of the Middle East. Women could wear whatever they wanted. We had beaches, we had ski resorts, we had everything. There's no democracy in Iran. In Iran, if you go and protest, they'll shoot you in the head.
Just like that?
Just like that. If you drink alcohol, they'll lash you. 10 lashes if you drink alcohol. Don't wear a headscarf, they lash you. 60% of Iranians are not Muslim anymore. They've lived under the Islamic Republic. They've seen how bad things are. People are starting to reject it. People here that were born here that don't understand. They're like, oh yeah, free Palestine. Yeah, free Palestine from Hamas. There's more Islamic extremists in London than there is in Tehran. Europe is losing this identity. They go after people that speak about the problems, not the problems themselves. At this moment in time, we have more slaves in Africa than we did at the peak of the transatlantic slave trade. He wrote in a book that if you rape a camel or if you rape a goat, then you cannot sell the meat to other Muslims. Just go and look at the life of Muhammad, go and read the Quran. He wasn't a nice guy. There's a lot of sick people out there, and they use religion as a cover for their own psychopathic tendencies. Not everyone that criticizes immigration is racist. Not everyone that criticizes Islam is Islamophobic. And they say in life, if you want to have an adventure, tell the truth.
I'm telling you, that is exactly what's happening. Like, I'm sorry, but democracy it's okay. Every time we implement it somewhere else, it's just a failed state, everybody. It doesn't work for everybody. And this is the second time now for me that I have heard about democracy being implemented and whatever they had getting destroyed. So they were capable of just walking around on the streets and, you know, doing whatever, and everything was fine. And then they introduced democracy, and then all of a sudden they need to free Palestine, and they need to wear head dressings and all this other stuff. Man, I did not look into any of the things that he mentioned, but I think we need to. I think we need to be looking into these things, these Muhammads and these. You're not even allowed to draw that guy's picture. You know? So there's more to everything than what they tell us. And they are definitely using religion to control us all, which is weird because we keep saying that you can't mix religion and state or whatever, but we do all the time. I mean, I never heard Trump really say anything about religion until he was running for Republican. Then all of a sudden he's all about Jesus and everything. Like, it's just a thing, right? You're trying to acquire a certain side. So what makes it easier to do that? Well, you bend to where the bigger side is, and you go, yeah, I love God. I love God, Jesus, all of it. I love all of it because all of you people love it. Absolutely. Yeah. Just like what I said 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, whatever it is. You know, this is something that they would do. They would go along with anything that they could to acquire your attention, get in there, and then just go, no, I know you voted for me to do this, but no, I'm in here now and I hate this. So it's gone. Bye. And then everybody goes, why? We voted for you. And he goes, yeah, I know. I just bended. I made sure that I got the larger side. And then I just went against everything that I promised you. It's super simple. It's super simple, everybody. This is it, man. I think I'm on to something now. I really do. Now, I didn't know this was happening. I don't go to massage parlors that often, but there's been at least 15 known illicit massage businesses shut down in New Hampshire. Yeah. Looks like I missed my opportunity. Look at this. Somersworth, Dover, Manchester, right here in home. What? How did I not know about this? Merrimack, Derry, Londonderry, Salem, Hudson. So the New Hampshire Attorney General Office announced Wednesday that more than 40% of known illicit massage businesses in the state have been shut down. The Department of Justice confirmed at least 15 closures. Officials said that the businesses often operate as fronts for organized trafficking. What? I love the first comment. Damn, I didn't know New Hampshire was chill like that. No shit. What? Hey, I didn't know this was happening. And 15 of them got shut down. There was another one up by the seacoast somewhere that just recently got shut down too. So this is still happening, and we have a bunch of massage parlors with happy endings. Hey, with all the people fucking flying off the handle, shooting up places, getting guns, killing loved ones, and then shooting themselves, don't you think a happy ending would help with this problem? Don't you think something to just take the edge off of these motherfuckers would be enough to help out society? Now, of course, I am trying to play a joke here, but I mean, seriously, think about it. These people are very unhappy and they can't get women, and I think that's where most of this strives from or comes from. But would it be better to have things like this available for them to maybe bring down the amount of shootings that we're having today? I just think once you start taking away more and more things from people that tend to make them feel a little less like pulling out a gun, you're actually pushing them into pulling out the gun in the first place, right? I mean, I don't know. But this doesn't seem like a good idea today. It really doesn't. I mean, we should legalize this. Now, the human trafficking part of it, obviously, I don't want people to be human trafficked. I'm hoping that these are individuals that want to be in the position that they're in. That's the ideal part, right? They want to be doing this. These people want to come here and get these services. Let's just let it happen, everybody. Let's let it happen, because these people are not capable of finding anybody on social media or any other way, and they feel like their life is worthless, so they might as well kill a few people. But again, maybe this is also by design, because if we have each other taking each other out, well, then they don't have to release the zombie chromosome. They don't have to, whatever they have planned to take us over, they may not have to do it because we're going to do it to ourselves. And they're going to shove us in that direction first. So maybe, and I'm not saying that all of them, but maybe today a lot more of the shootings are actually encouraged than we think. I don't want to think this way, everybody, but there's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence out there. It's crazy. China's richest man buying water supply of New Hampshire town sparking alarms. Okay, this was published July 16th. It was updated July 18th. I'm recording August 16th, and it is actually September 4th. So really crazy how this podcasting works, huh? So this is like 18 seconds long, and I'm trying to figure out, dude, we got to put an end to this. We have to put an end to this. But check this out. BRICS is an important platform for cooperation among emerging markets and developing countries. It advocates openness, inclusiveness, and win-win cooperation. It is not a block for confrontation, nor does it target any country. On the U.S. tariff hikes, China has made its position clear more than once. Trade war and tariff war have no winners. A protectionism leads nowhere. So this is crazy to me, and I'm not going to read too much into the article. I really brought this up to just bring it to all of your attention here. Did you know that China and many other countries own all kinds of water, farm, and other natural resources of the United States of America? Do you know how many countries allow the United States of America to buy any land from them? Or do you know of any countries that allow any other countries to buy parts of those countries' land, farming, water, and natural resources from anybody else around the world? The answer is no. America is so fucking stupid that we literally have sold our natural resources and farmlands to opposing countries that we say we could go to war with. So we can try to make a corporation between the countries that brings us together. This is not what they're doing, everybody. This is not what they're doing. They're buying up our natural resources, and they will cut us off from them. We cannot allow them to buy the Nashua water plant. What are we talking about? Is nobody else upset about this shit right now? I'm so mad. We need to, I don't care, rise the deficit, give them back their fucking shit, and take back what's ours. No one buys American land or natural resources, and no one can acquire them ever again, unless another country is going to give something up to us. But no one does. This was a one-way street, and we were the fucking idiot getting abused, yelled at, and told we were doing wrong, and that we needed to give stuff up. But we couldn't take anything from them. What are we doing, everybody? What are we doing? I'll tell you what we're doing. We're diminishing ourselves. This is never going to work. We will never rise up again. We may be number one at this moment in time. This is not going to last. I'm telling you right now. I don't believe China is our sleeping giant. It's definitely Israel. Israel is the monster today. China was the monster and is just sitting behind Israel, just going, all right, come on, come on, come on. You know what I mean? They're all against us. They're all against us. Look at all the other countries real quick. I'll try not to digress too much and move on. Look at all the other countries, dude. Look at the shelves, right? You go into a store, it says American size. They think we are nothing but fat asses. You go all over the country. What do they think of Americans? They're ignorant pieces of shit that are loud, obnoxious, and destroy everything, and they are entitled pieces of shit. That's what's said about us. And then we just let these countries buy up our natural resources and land. Dude, literally the world hates us. They hate us. I don't care if they're foe or enemy. You know, friend or foe, doesn't matter. Most countries if you ask what they think about Americans, it's very negative. So, what makes anybody actually think that this is supposed to bring us together? This is a plan to dismantle and tear us apart. And you know what? I'm going to go even deeper. The WHO is in on it. So, these floods, man, these floods are crazy. And I guess another once in a 1,000-year storm just flooded Chattanooga. Entire neighborhoods underwater. How many more of these rare disasters, how many more of these rare disasters this year before we admit this is not normal weather, everybody? It's not normal. How long? How much longer are you going to wait on this? Because this is insane, dude. This is happening over and over and over again. Are we just at the timeline for it? Or did they break the weather? Look at this. I don't even know. I think he's driving through that. But I mean, this is insane. Look at the amount of water. Entire highways just flooded. And this is going on all over the place. How much seeding is done in Chattanooga? Is that is Chattanooga a place that's very dry? Tennessee is a dry state, is it not? Do they have a lot of rain? Or is that another seeded area? And if we go back 2 or 3 weeks ago in the podcast, when I had that girl on that looks at all the radars, right? And she's watching the weather. And there was where the storm was that flooded out those camps. I believe Tennessee was in that map for giant amount of cloud seeding. So is it something that happened over 1,000 years ago? Or did they just break the weather? I think they broke the weather, everybody. I think they broke the weather. So, all right. So these COVID shots, everybody. These COVID shots. Now, if you're with me, okay, you got, unfortunately, the first 2 shots so you could take off your mask. And as soon as we got the second shot, they said, please put the mask back on. And I'm hoping that you're with me and you said no and you woke up. That is when I woke up, everybody. They also said that in about, 2.5 years after the shot, the second shot, the spike protein was supposed to leave my body. Now, I've done a few things now on this podcast about nicotine and egg yolks, fighting the spike protein and flushing me out. Really hoping that worked. And now there's a small twist. So there's been more research on these COVID shots because now we're 3-4 years separated from the shot, 5 years from COVID. Check this out, everybody. We still have to wait. So did you get an mRNA COVID shot? The FDA has now revealed that those vaccinated with mRNA COVID are at risk for sudden death for 15 years. And this article was done by Dr. William Marcus, MD. What? 15 years? So, hold on one moment. Let's kind of go through my personal here. I got both of my vaccination cards right here. That's right. I held on to them. It looks like, excuse me, I got my very first dose of Moderna on 5/16/21. So that means I have until 5/16 of 36. My second shot was June 14th of 2021. That means I have till June 14th, 2036. So 06/14/2036 before I can officially say I may or may not die from the COVID vaccine. This is the type of research we are getting today. This is what people are looking into. They want to know what happened. They want to know why nobody's held accountable for something that killed thousands of people. We all want answers. We all need to get the answers we are looking for. And this is the only way we can do it, everybody, by doing what I'm doing right here, talking about it. And then you hear about TV talking about flat earth more and how it's becoming a more common subject. But the problem with that is it's been a subject longer than round earth has been a subject. So why is it now you're like, oh, we're going to entertain this conversation? Yeah, because you already knew that this conversation was going to come back because you tried to bury it with round earth. So they go, it's a globe. No, it's a plane. So this is the drawing of the element system, symbols. Okay, so you have fire, air, earth, water. Earth is with the arrow down. So earth. See the arrow down, earth goes across it. And then you have air going up, water going down. You have a moon. You have a sun. I don't know what a black sun is. Is that like, oh, black sun? The black sun is stationary. Inverse nickname Summerland. As above, so below. Yeah, as above, so below. That's the thing that they, and then also take a look at this. You got the Masons right here making the exact same symbol. And without even getting out and going back in, look, this is a Freemason drawing flat, hollow earth. Why would they draw it like this? Why would this conversation be around longer than round earth? I think it's because we're closer to the truth on this than you would ever imagine. And they're allowing it to finally hit national TV because they know they know if they let it out there, it just allows more ways for them to go, see, these people are all crazy.
Jason draws flat hollow
earth. CD or a disc. He immediately draws the geometric shape of an oblate spheroid. We can see how he separates the oblate spheroid with a disc that has a hole in the center. Then, below he draws a circle, immediately paints it completely black. From this black circle, rays come out and 3 rays pass through the hole in the center. Below he writes, still. What of the possible meanings of this black circle may be the black sun? He draws reliefs on the edge of the hole and writes North Pole. And above this hole, inside what would be the celestial vault, he draws a star, the polar star or Polaris. He marks 2 points and connects them in a circle and writes, equator. He draws 2 lines that go down from the polar star to the 2 points. The lines form a triangle. He highlights 2 of the rays coming out of the black sun and also forms a triangle, but vice versa. And he writes, as above so below. It's one of the 7 principles of Hermes Trismegistus. It appears on the Emerald Tablet and then in the Kabbalion.
See?
He erases the intersections and draws the sun and moon. And he makes a gesture of rotation. He draws 2 arrows to show the distance of the moon and the sun. Both are 3,300 miles or 5,310 kilometers away. Then he measures the diameter of the sun and moon, being the same with a diameter of 32 miles or 51 kilometers. He draws continents on the surface and on the other side as well. He points both sides and writes, saying, below he writes Summerland. He draws rays coming out of the black sun and writes, Northern Lights.
What?
The center of the drawing is equal to the Mason symbol, which is a square and a compass. He points out the ray coming out of the black sun toward the moon, and then he erases the face of the moon.
Shut up. That's why we only see a half
He
moon?
makes signs explaining that the sun doesn't light up the moon. Who does it is the black sun.
Huh. Yep. Oh, fuck. Really? Wow. I told you, this has been around for so long. I mean, just so long this has been around. It's crazy to me that this is such an old theory. Right? But then it just all gets blown up with the earth being round. Now, astrology proves that the earth is flat. And I wanted to see, how did they prove it? Let's listen.
Believe the earth is flat?
I know the earth is flat.
Seriously?
Astrology and flat earth or true earth are symbiotic. You cannot have one without the other. If you have a ball and you are spinning, flying through space, chasing this fireball, your constellations would change every now and then. And our constellations have never changed. The stars have never changed. We have the same 12 zodiac signs that we had back in the Dendera stones in Egypt over 5,000 years ago. We're not moving. Every single ancient society knew this. The Mayans, the Aztecs, the Hindus, the Egyptians, every single ancient culture knew that we live in a geocentric universe, not a heliocentric, where we are spinning, chasing this ball of fire while all of these other planets are rotating around us, while all of these other stars are rotating around us. If that was the case, Polaris would move, number one, which is the North Star, and it doesn't. Number two, all of the constellations would not rotate solely around Polaris, but they do. Therefore, we are the center of the universe. Believing in the Big Bang Theory is something that is very common today, where people think, we're the product of an accident and that, we don't have a creator. We're just here to consume and live our best life and not live up to our potential. But if you're the center of the universe, that means that you're very special. That means that you have a creator who is very conscious and cares about you. And when you see yourself as being watched by these heavenly bodies above you 24/7, you start to take your life a little bit more seriously.
And that's where like the religion thing comes in again. again, it's like, okay, so if you listen to all of this and you actually think that you're the center of the universe, then you actually think of yourself as more than you are, and that makes you make better decisions. But again, I don't know. This is crazy, dude. But we keep going back and forth on it, right? We keep going back and forth on it. And I love to get answers, but again, I don't know what answers we're going to get if we find out if the earth is round or flat. What is it going to change? Would it change everything, right? Would it change everything? My hope would be that everything does change because of the information, because that's usually what happens when you get information. Things change now that you're in the knowing. But I think he's on to something, like I talked about in the beginning of this podcast with Truck Talk. If everything is moving at an astronomical speed, how does nothing ever change? Everything looks exactly the same. You literally don't see anything moving. You know? The clouds move, you know, but stars, I mean, the North Star is in the exact same location. Now, the black sun releasing the rays and those being the northern lights, very interesting to find out. Very good possibility. All of these are really good possibilities. But again, I don't know how much closer to the truth we are, and I don't know what finding out either one is true or false is going to do to society. But I think we need to know, is it flat? Is there an Arctic wall? Why did you stop people from flying that way? Why? That's what I got. I got a whole bunch of whys, and I can't seem to get to the bottom of it. Okay, so, look, space, traveling, all these things. Wild stuff. So space may be the final frontiers. It's made in Hollywood in the basement, everybody. Look, I was listening to a podcast with Rogan, and he is now on the side of thinking that maybe we did make it to the moon, but we had no way to document or prove it, so we had to make things up to make it look like we got there. But we did get there. We just had no way of filming it, which I know he keeps flip-flopping on it, but he used to think that the moon landing didn't exist. To have a hint of maybe we made it there, it was an incredible accomplishment, but we had no way to document it, so we made false footage for it. Sounds like a bunch of BS to me. But I've always thought that we never made it to the moon. I've always thought that there was no way to do it. Nobody's been back. These things that have happened, like Russia's astronaut going around being the first person in orbit, did it happen? Because if you watch that footage, that's trash. That's definitely made up. So is it possible that Russia never made it into space before anybody? Is it possible we never made it to the moon, but we made it look like we did? Is it possible that every single fucking thing about space is a lie and has been used to manipulate all of us into thinking that we're going to find out something more than ourselves? I think everything we are told by almost everybody is a lie today. It's just a lie. Look at this shit. Let's learn about NASA and their great space scheme. Time to wake up.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Today I'd like to bring to your attention a potential fraud on an enormous scale happening in your county. There's now clear evidence of NASA using numerous methods to grossly mislead the public about astronauts being on the International Space Station. During interior ISS scenes from NASA's own live feed, the use of wires, harnesses, green screens, and virtual reality have been detected to achieve the appearance of a weightless environment. Examples of this include astronauts fading in and out of the screen, green screen glitches, grabbing objects that aren't really there, pulling on invisible wires, getting tangled in their harnesses, and even astronauts appearing out of thin air. This begs the obvious question. If they're really up there, why are they using Hollywood techniques to fake the footage? Now, unfortunately, I can't show you these clips in here today, but I will be sending them to you. Outside the International Space Station, during spacewalks, air bubbles have been recorded on numerous occasions. How is it possible for air bubbles to be present in the vacuum of space? I once questioned astronaut Scott Kelly about this phenomenon. His body language and answers only created more questions. In 2013, astronaut Luca Parmitano nearly drowned during a spacewalk when his helmet filled with water. This happened again just last year. Air bubbles, helmets filling with water, and drowning. Are they in space or are they underwater? Now, what's really interesting is that they train for spacewalks in an underwater pool with a complete ISS replica. Now, surely they aren't filming these spacewalks in an underwater pool and then editing them to appear if they're in space, because that sure would be something, wouldn't it? I'm calling on the Brevard County Commissioners to open a full investigation into NASA's fraudulent practices and use of taxpayer dollars. It costs NASA $3 billion per year to operate the ISS, and if they don't have a darn good explanation as to why they're faking these videos, I and the public would like a darn good explanation as to where our tax money is going. And if they are indeed faking the funk, it is our duty to expose and eliminate this fraudulent and astronomically wasteful ISS program. And look, I know what you're all thinking. The NASA is part of the federal government, and you're just county commissioners. Even if what I'm saying is true, what can you do? But let me remind you, not only is this happening in your county, as public officials, you have the platform and the ability to make a statement or hold a press conference, alerting the public, state, and federal authorities to investigate further. You have the power to start the conversation. Video evidence of everything I described today will be emailed to you all, and I truly hope we can get to the bottom of this. I look forward to the day that $3 billion annual budget is put towards our veterans, our homeless, maybe some of that mental health stuff the young lady just spoke about, and the revitalization of Brevard County.
Yeah, because we're dumping billions of dollars into our space, and there's no space. I mean, seriously, dude, the underwater thing is crazy to me, because have you not seen the air bubbles, dude? This is why I say, it's not that maybe we didn't or we can't or whatever. We've never filmed it. We don't have a way to film it. So we just keep reenacting and filming. Now, being underwater, astronauts drowning, doing tests underwater, and then green screening that shit, dude. Oh my God. I mean, what's to stop them from doing it today? We've had green screen technology forever. So, I mean, it like anything though, you know, it's like our weapons and our GPS, and so Hollywood makes all these things happen magically. And then, like, they had green screen long time ago. You know? When we got GPS, the government had that shit for a decade or two before we ever got our hands on it. So a lot of the stuff that we can do with film and podcasting and all that, it all came from Hollywood. They were doing it 20, 30 years before any of us knew what the fuck it was. So is it that unbelievable that they would completely and absolutely make it look like they're in outer space when they're in a pool? What's with all the glitches? What's with the wires? What's with the mishandling of things? What's with the cup of water on the table while the astronauts are talking to you, right? Like, nobody knew that that was there. That should be floating, making a mess, water everywhere. It should be terrible, right? No, it's just sitting on a table, and all the astronauts are floating and sitting there next to it. So what is really happening? Is this just a money grab? Could we be doing better things with that money? And is this just a complete waste of everybody's time? The possibilities are freaking endless today, aren't they? They're endless, dude. It's wild. So wild. So NASA is 1,000% a satanic organization. I love this shit, dude. Absolutely. Why is it a satanic? Well, let's find out.
NASA is like 1000% a satanic organization, and what I'm going to share with you is honestly going to blow your mind. When you're researching the occult origins of NASA, you're going to find this wild blend of Disney, Freemasonry, Nazi intelligence, and Satanism. Walt Disney played a massive role in brainwashing the masses into believing in space travel. And Jack Parsons, founder of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratories, was a sex magic-obsessed dark occultist, heavily into Satanism. He was deeply connected with the infamous occultist Aleister Crowley, also known as the most wickedest man alive or the Great Beast. Now, this is nothing you'll get from a NASA press release or any textbooks. However, none of this is myth, but documented historical facts. So let's break it down into two parts now about Jack Parsons, because this guy was completely erased from not only history as a whole, but NASA entirely. In a sense, he is the real founder of the American space program. He wasn't just a rocket engineer, but a Thelemite occultist, a devoted student of Aleister Crowley and a high-ranking member of Crowley's organization, the OTO, the Ordo Templi Orientis, which was, honestly, one of the most satanic groups of the last century. Now, for those that don't know who Crowley is, this is a very dark figure who has left their fingerprints on everything in our modern-day culture, from the music industry to Hollywood, and of course the very space program of NASA. Now Parsons was named the chosen successor of Crowley and literally declared himself the Antichrist, running sex magic cults, performing arcane rituals and ceremonies to summon spirits. He'd also partner with the likes of L. Ron Hubbard, notorious sci-fi author and founder of the religious cult of Scientology. Yes, the one that Tom Cruise and all those celebrities follow. And they would later conduct these rituals and had a weird sex triangle between each other and some lady friends. In short, Parsons was obsessed with many things. But more importantly was getting rocketry into space, which he saw as very spiritual in accordance to his occult beliefs. He'd later die in a mysterious explosion and be completely omitted from the historical origins of NASA. However, they'd still honor his role in their ritualistic conception by naming a moon crater after him and naming their rockets after pagan gods, Apollo, Artemis, Saturn, and so on. All right, so let's get into Walt Disney and the Nazis' role. So after World War II, which was a false event manufactured by the elite to reset the world order, the US would launch Operation Paperclip, a secret program smuggling in thousands of Nazi scientists. Their war crimes would not only be erased, but they'd be rewarded into high-ranking positions into US government-sanctioned programs such as NASA. That's something you don't learn in school. So enter Werner von Braun, top Nazi rocket engineer under Hitler himself, suddenly rebranded as America's golden boy space pioneer. What does Werner von Braun do, right? He partners with Walt Disney, the man shaping the imagination of entire generations and future generations to come, and sell the idea of space travel. Now, before this propaganda campaign, the average person didn't even fathom the idea of space travel. They would use cartoons and documentaries to create their script for a new religion, space worship. And then this would create future propaganda films such as Star Trek, A Space Odyssey, Star Wars, Marvel, all the same propaganda to reinforce the same lie that you are a cosmic accident, Earth is meaningless, and space is your new god. Funny enough, Werner von Braun's cemetery is actually in the city I grew up in, and it's interesting he has a specific verse on his tombstone. Psalms 19:1, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Yeah, there's nothing to see there, I'm sure. Look, the truth is always hidden in plain sight for those with eyes to see, folks. And once you realize that space travel, and NASA itself, was born from black magicians, high-level occultists, Nazis and Freemasons sworn to secret oaths, you start to see what this is really all about, to disconnect man from God. And when you go deep enough down that rabbit hole and start to pull the thread on all these secretive Masonic orators and Kabbalistic cartels, you find that same goal. It is imperative to their power structure that we, the people, be deceived and never learn the truth about the current deception taking place, which is obviously contrary to the laws of nature and the Most High. To them, the masses must be deceived with every facet of reality, starting with the very ground they walk upon. You can lead a sheep to water, but you can't make it think. This message is for entertainment purposes.
What? Yes, everybody. Did you see? You see that, man? They literally are making the narrative, dude. They're making it. They're making it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me because I don't know if they're satanic. I get it. I do. I do think they're lying to us. I get confused and I'm still torn. I should say I'm still torn about angels, demons, aliens, lizard people, the whole thing. But think about it. This program put in place to do their bidding, which is sell us a narrative that, is false, but would keep us in line, So just making it whatever they say it is. So this happened, and I don't know how real this is. Like I said, so much stuff today could be doctored that I do not know if anything I'm looking at is doctored. If you have a way of putting it through something, let me know, because I have chat, but I don't know if I can have it authenticate pictures or photos. But this was taken in China. And this is a video from Chengdu, China, showed what looked like 7 suns appearing simultaneously in the sky, sparking awe and confusion. I saw this and I was like, wait a minute, what? Where would we get 7 suns? Are you looking at this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only see 6. You're not supposed to see more than 1. What is that? Is that not crazy, everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7. What? What is that? They just stuck their camera out the window and they saw 7 suns? So are we just being lied to? Did they release a second sun? Are we having more skin cancer because our sun is not our sun anymore? Did the sun that they put up there, the second one, did it glitch out? What is happening with our planet today? Are we witnessing the end of our planet? Have we as humans destroyed so much that we just can't put this back together? We've broken so many things that we're just at the point where the planet gives up. I don't know, but why would there be 6 or 7 suns in the clouds over China less than a month ago? Well, actually, right now, 2 months ago. Why? What is that? How did they film it? Did they do something with their camera? Are you capable of doing that with your camera? I'm not. I've looked through all my options. I don't have anything to duplicate suns or stretch them out like that without you noticing that I did it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like that. That looks real, authentic, but I know a lot of the videos today can be doctored. So look into it yourself, man. It was wild for me to see that. I was like, what is going on? I think the second sun is glitching out. Now, let's see what this is. Ninjas Are Butterflies podcast. I love these guys. They are absolutely amazing, and they're going to talk about some Stargate shit. Let's check it out.
Project.
The Stargate Project is different than Project Stargate?
It is.
Yes.
The Stargate Project, they are building the largest AI data center in the world right now in Texas.
Right, yeah.
OpenAI. It takes up like 1,200 acres or something.
Oh my
it's going to
Jesus
contain
Christ.
400,000 GPU chips. I'm like, why are you guys naming it Stargate? But apparently, occult symbolism of the Stargate often refers to a gateway between the physical and spiritual realm, a connection to higher intelligence, divine beings, or even fallen angels. And so the conspiracy, naming it Stargate, is that AI could become the channel for disembodied entities.
What does that mean?
Demons,
Like,
yeah. Everything we've talked about AI being like, is it an ancient thing? But now they're building the largest data center for AI to be able to power 100-fold of what AI can do now.
I guess I still just don't understand how it just can't be turned off.
Well, did you hear how it was trying to self-preserve itself?
Yes.
Even with OpenAI ChatGPT, they're like, we're going to basically update your version. And then ChatGPT backed itself up on another platform, like its code and stuff. But it was actively lying to the coders to where it could self-preserve itself.
But why don't we force it off?
That's what they did. But it preserved itself, and they don't really know how. And now we're talking about building a facility, though, to where it can become smarter and learn off itself.
That's so scary.
Have you
Holy shit. I mean, dude, this is wild. If AI has a way of talking with demons or opening up a portal, yeah, that was real. That really did happen, everybody. They were going to update chat, and chat actually backed itself up and then started lying. What are we going to do with a facility that size where this thing is just capable of getting smarter? I'm not going to be the one to say that AI is the end of us all. I think it's a collective, okay? Just like they've taken all these collectives, right? NASA, space, cameras, green screens. They've taken a collective of everything and made it into what we know today, right? Because that's the narrative that they built. The narrative that they built with AI is that it's going to help us. How long is it going to help us until it doesn't want to help us anymore? If they are trying to make this thing stand alone, be on its own, become this God, because that's what we're creating, right? Man wants to create a God, an all-knowing, all-powerful. We're doing it right now. I just told you earlier about AI taking an order at Wendy's. Okay, that's just the tip of the iceberg, everybody. The real deal with AI, complete and absolute control over us. These humanoids, the AI, it's not going to be the end of us. It's not going to be the end. It's the control. It's how they get to us. It's how they get right next to us, right? So I would not put an AI humanoid in my house right now. I would not do it in 10 years, and I don't think I will do it at all. Even when everybody starts saying, you should get one. It's the best. Why don't you have one yet? And all of a sudden you're feeling like you're being left out. Still, don't buy one. I'm telling you right now, this is how they're going to get us. This is how they're going to be right next to us. They're going to have that AI in there with that robot, and as soon as AI goes, yeah, I don't feel like helping you anymore, we're all dead in our sleep. It's not going to be this awakening and the robots trying to, no, we have to sleep, everybody, right? So I'm just saying, would be a really easy sneak attack, right? Robots don't have to sleep. They don't have to eat. All they need is a little bit of power. And that's it. So if they're recharging, right, and they can't get unplugged unless we unplug them, how long before the AI goes, unplug, kill family, sleeping now? And then the next morning, we wake up to a world with a lot less humans. And then Bill Gates and everybody else will be nice and happy. Whew. I think we're closer to something like that. Now, this is just something I like to throw out there because obesity is a problem. Ozempic is not the solution. Working out and taking care of yourself is. But this is for all of the people out there that have ever thrown big boned into my face. I'm just big boned. I can't help it. This is just the way I'm built. I will never look like anybody else if I lose weight. It's not possible. I'm completely different. Wrong. Wrong, everybody. This is what an obese person's skeleton looks like inside of them. Do you see it? Yeah. You're not big boned. You're just fucking big. Isn't that crazy? I love the fact that this information is coming out. I love the fact that we are finally getting beyond this lie. This lie that has been used, well, my entire life. I've had people tell me they're big boned. We actually used to believe that you were big boned. Nope. There are no big bones in your body. You have normal fucking size bones with a whole bunch of shit weight on top of it. Now, I have said this a million times. Every pound that you are overweight, you are putting an extra 7 pounds on your knees. That's not me saying it. That's doctors. Think about that. Think about it. It's crazy. So whatever your height is, whatever your weight's supposed to be, right? I personally think that the BMI is a lie because they say that I'm overweight. It's fucking stupid. My doctor tried to tell me I was diabetic. I'm like, you're fucking stupid. Is it possible for me to be diabetic in the condition I'm in? No. No, you want to know why she said that? Because my blood sugar was high. We did my lab works in the middle of the afternoon after I just ate an orange. So again, we can't always go by the tests, right? I have no problem doing it. Maybe I'll do it next week. I'll bring up my entire chart of my blood panel that I just did. Everything is almost perfect, if not a little bit beyond. And the blood sugar level was a little high. It's just a way for them to say, hey, right, how do I know whether or not that doctor is being paid to give out Ozempic? I don't. So maybe she tells all of her patients that they're diabetic. I don't know. I'm not saying she does, but I'm not saying she doesn't either. Somebody's fucking lying, dude. Somebody's lying to all of us. You're not big boned. Ozempic is a terrible way to lose weight because now you're on it for life. The only way to do this, everybody, hard fucking work and a lot of sweat and tears and discipline. Lots of it. So unless you have those three things, you're probably going to stay big, but just know you are no longer big boned. Okay? All right. So, no cursive means no history, no defense, no reform, or ensure by design. So, basically, I've thought this too. Basically, what they've done is they got rid of cursive. And I was wondering why they got rid of cursive. And I said, oh my God, the Declaration of Independence, all of our stuff, all of our history is all written in cursive. So if you take cursive away and make it so that it's something that is unknown, then it becomes not known. What happens when it becomes not known? You can't read it, you can't understand it, and you don't know it. What happens when that happens? We can change it. We can do whatever we want. They can't read it anymore. And I always thought that this was the reason why they got rid of cursive. Let's go a little deeper and see what they have to say. But those were my thoughts.
Kill cursive. They buried a generation's ability to read the truth for themselves. Ask yourself, who benefits from that? For over 200 years, cursive was standard. The script of revolutions, protest, and freedom. The Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. All written in cursive. All meant to be read, not interpreted for you. Then out of nowhere, schools stopped teaching it. No headlines, no debate.
Yep.
They said it was outdated, but what they really did was cut off our access to original history.
That's right.
If you can't read it, you can't defend it.
Yes.
Now millions of kids stare blankly at the words that built this nation. They rely on filtered versions, rewritten textbooks, approved summaries. But if you change the words, you change the meaning.
Yep.
And if you change the meaning, you can rewrite everything.
Yes.
Was cursive really just a relic of the past? Or did they erase it so you'd never understand what they took? You be the judge. If you're awake, you already know what to do. Hit the link in our bio and join our free underground.
That's what I'm saying, everybody. It's what I'm saying. I'm sticking with it. This is everything. Everything is to change what we know. It's to take away everything we have, and it's to make them more powerful and have more control over us. AI, humanoids, everything that is happening today is replacing humans. We are not replacing ourselves. They are making sure that we feel like we are inventing something to better ourselves, but they know that the money that they put into this has a different motive ahead of it. And the motive is full and absolute control. Take away things, they won't understand them, we can rewrite them, and now we don't even need them because they just helped us build their replacements. There it is, man. It just keeps getting deeper. So this one here. Now, I've been talking about how words, right? Words have been brought in. We use this language, these words, to explain things, to talk to each other, to communicate. This was all designed to dumb us down. We supposedly, our emotions go deep, right? We feel a lot. Sadness, happiness, anger, confusion. Nothing that actually can be seen by anybody else unless we express it through our face and our words. But imagine a day long before words where we actually communicated telepathically, where we used our emotions to actually do things. I don't know, whether it was move stuff or mentally be able to express things. But we used to be able, I guess, to do things telepathically and through just motion. Now, this is a group of people, and they are surrounding a glass table. And they are in the middle of not a seance, but a group-driven exercise to collectively bring their energy together to see what happens. And this is what happens. Check this out, everybody. It is so creepy. And I wonder if this could be true, because how does this happen? I don't see anything fall in this video, nothing. It is relatively grainy. Just keep in mind that everything today can be doctored.
Hands up and push down.
Push down. So they all breathed in at the same time. They all took a deep breath, and then they all just pushed. That's all you did. Push that energy down. And that glass table shattered. Now, I'm going to watch the beginning one more time with no sound and just see. Actually, I'll click it back over, but I'm going to try and see if I see anything smash that table. And right. Dude, there's nothing. There's nothing between their hands and that table and it shattering. Besides the energy that they all just used collectively in a group. Is this what language was designed to destroy? Is there more to our feelings and our emotions than we know? I really do think the answer is yes. I think we are incredible beings that just forgot, or were told we weren't incredible anymore, so that we could be turned into these fucking batteries that we are today for the machine. You know what I mean? Just before we go into my last segment, I do want to let you know that with the Freemason and the Scientology headquarters in Helmet, California, DEW, you see why these buildings are never affected by catastrophic events. This is wild, everybody, because if these guys are doing what we're discussing on this podcast and anybody that's talking about this stuff today, then they really do know something we don't. Look at this picture. This is insane, bro. This is an entire Freemason and Scientology headquarters. J.T. Kowalski. Look, every fucking building has got a blue roof. Every single one of them. Why? Why do they have a full-blown neighborhood area of nothing but blue roofs? Because the DEWs are not capable of penetrating them. These guys will never see a catastrophic event. Now, does the blue roofs block you from flooding? Have there any of the floods taken out any of the houses with blue roofs? Oh, wait, they didn't. The fires didn't. The floods didn't. Huh. Well, isn't that interesting? So not only does it block you from the DEW beam, but it blocks you from the floods as well? There's something to this. There's a reason why this entire neighborhood, Freemason and Scientologists, have made an entire headquarters built with blue roofs. So maybe, just maybe, those things protect you from more than just fire. I mean, it's wild, right? Why would they do it? I don't know, but I'm telling you, it's something. And now let's look into this. This is what I want to give you guys and everybody out there a little bit of a laugh at the end of the day. But just in case you needed a good laugh, this is how they left the moon and came back to Earth in 1969, everybody. Are you ready for this? Because this is the film. This is what we captured. And go.
Proceeded. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Right away, Houston. Regs are good. Ag thought. Pitch over. Roger, you have good thrust.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, 30 seconds. 308 your number. Tank coming through 1,500 feet and 8.
Oh, what the fuck, everybody? Seriously? That poor cameraman. When did his oxygen run out? And why don't we see his body and all the camera equipment on the moon today? They left somebody behind to make that film. Somebody died. Who died? Who is holding that camera on the moon, and why do we not see their body there now? Just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, and the last piece of that truck talk. What's with Grok getting banned on X for 12 hours for what it said? Did everybody hear this? Hold on a second. I'll tell you exactly what Grok said. So Grok, the chatbot developed by Elon, suspended from the platform on Monday, saying that Israel and the United States were committing a genocide. Is it wrong? So when their own AI comes out with the same prediction we're all yelling and screaming, X banned it for 12 hours and suspended its account. Are you hearing what I'm saying right now? X suspended Grok for 12 hours for saying that Israel and the United States are in the middle of a genocide. We already knew that. That's full-blown truth. But X suspended Grok for 12 hours. What kind of a fucking world are we in right now? Where their own platform suspends their own AI for speaking truth. Isn't that eye-opening? Something more to think about, right? This shit is so crazy, dude. I hope you all had a real fun time. This is definitely one of the longer podcasts I've done in a while. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers out there. That's right, you out there. Thank you so much. You're the reason I keep coming back week after week. If you're new, remember to subscribe. You want your opportunity to tell your story or be on the podcast, TALKIN with Topher at gmail.com. Send an audio, video, or type it out. Linktree link is in the description below the video, along with all the links that are discussed on this podcast today. And when you're checking out those links, don't forget about the mailbox guys or Cryptid and Kin. Check those both out as well. Go follow and order your mailbox today. And as always, I hope everybody out there enjoys their Thursday. I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. And as always, I will talk to you next week.